What's good, R&B squad? This is Heart of Ruth. I trust that this message meets you guys in good spirits. If you are new to this family, we don't believe that you're here by accident. Welcome. We're happy to have you. And Jesus is, of course, always happier. So the word I have today is a bit heavy. It is not going to be pleasant for me to deliver this, but I have to be obedient. And it comes from a dream that I had and a couple things that the Lord spoke to me in the spirit. And I'm going to do my best to deliver this without feeling like, okay, so it's not easy for me to deliver words like this. It is never pleasant because I do take into consideration the fact that whoever this particular word of judgment applies to, this is a human being. And at the end of the day, God would have preferred if this person were to be saved. So it is never easy for me to deliver words like this, but I will do my best. I'm going to get into the dream and then I'm going to get into the interpretation. In this dream, I saw this person looking at this photograph of a woman. And what I noticed about the photograph of the woman, and there's a twist to this, and I'm going to let y'all in on the twist a little bit later in this word. What I noticed about the photograph, now I didn't know the lady that I saw in the photograph, and I didn't know the person looking at the photograph either. But what I could see from the photograph is that her face, the woman in the photograph, her face was unnaturally large. It looked like it was swollen, almost like there was fluid buildup in it. And the person that was looking at the photograph, she said she looked so unhappy in this photograph. And she was referring, of course, to the fact that the woman did indeed look like she wasn't very happy. And I remember looking at the photograph and thinking, why would they choose this particular photograph for this? They could have chosen a photograph where she looked a bit more at ease, where she looked a bit happier. And then somebody else turned around and they said, well, it's a time of mourning. It is a time of mourning. So of course she doesn't look happy. And that was the end of the dream. Now I'll get to the twist a little bit later and it will all make sense. So what the Lord broke down to me is this. There is an individual, and this could be for you or it could be for someone that God told you you're going to marry. But there is someone that was with this person in the past. They were either with you or they were with the person that God told you you're going to marry in the past. And what this person who was with your person or with you did is that they cast a spell to either keep you in bondage and keep you with them, or keep your person in bondage and keep your person with them. And God is saying that He set you free, or He set your person free from this spell. It was some sort of love spell that was done. You're set free from it if this is happening to you, or if this has happened to you, or your person has been set free from it if this happened to them. So in spite of this person's best efforts to keep your person trapped or to keep you trapped, you have been set free from it, or your person has been set free from it. What I saw in the spirit, what I heard in the spirit, is that these two people are no longer together. They're separated. So the person who cast the spell and the person whom the spell was cast on are no longer together. They're currently separated. So if this is you, you've already broken away from the person who cast the spell on you. And if this is for your person and you have no information on what is going on with him or her right now, you're not in communication, just know that they're no longer with this person. God made that very clear. He showed me the word separation twice. So they're no longer with this person. That was made abundantly clear. The other thing is, even though the Lord already set your person free or set you free, this person who cast this spell, they're not getting let off the hook that easy. And this is the difficult part for me to deliver. They're not getting let off the hook that easily. The Lord led me to the first book of Corinthians, chapter 6, verse 20. For you are bought with a price, therefore glorify your God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. So this applies to you whom the spell was cast on, or it applies to your person whom the spell was cast on. God already bought you with a price. He already died on the cross. He didn't die on the cross for anybody to keep you in bondage, in any kind of bondage, for you to be under any spell or anything like that. So he set you free from something that he did not approve of. He can never approve of a love spell. He can never approve of you, his child, being in any kind of bondage. He can never approve of anybody connected to you, his child, somebody that you're supposed to marry, being in any kind of bondage. So by sending this scripture, he's letting you know that he set you free because you're his. He set your person free because your person is his. But the individual who is guilty of casting the spell, they're not going to get off the hook so easily. They're not going to get off the hook so easily. See, the Lord spoke the following phrase to me. It's Abel Mizraim. Abel Mizraim. And that translates to mourning of the Egyptians. Mourning of the Egyptians. Now, when we think of Egyptians, what do we think about? There is a whole scripture on Abel Mizraim in the Bible. But in the context in which God placed it in for this message, when we think of the Egyptians, who do we think of? We think of the people who kept God's people in bondage, the people who enslaved God's people, and the fact that God set them free from that. God set his people free from that. And when his people were set free, there was a great mourning going on in Egypt. They'd been defeated. So what the Lord is highlighting here is that the people or the person who kept you bound or kept your person bound is about to go in to a period of mourning. And it may not even be them mourning. It may be the people around them, their loved ones, who are going to be doing the mourning. So this is what I saw in the spirit. This is what I heard. I saw again the woman with the swollen face, and what I heard in the spirit was that this was because of a tumor, a growing tumor that this person does not know that they have. It's some form of tumor that is growing. This person who cast the spell is unaware that they even have this condition. And that is what it was causing the swollen face. And here's the twist. That photograph that that person was looking at the woman with the swollen face, where she was saying the woman didn't look happy, it was a photograph on an obituary. That's what it was. So that's the twist I wanted to introduce. The mourning that this person is going to go into is that they're going to discover that they're sick, physically ill, and that it is fatal. It's a fatal illness. It's not something they're going to recover from. And again, it's not easy for me to deliver words like this. It is not. God does not desire that anybody should perish in their sins. He does not desire that. But he's been warning this person. He's been warning them. He's been giving them they've even received prophecies that they need to stop what they were doing, that they were interfering with the will of God and they needed to stop. And none of those prophecies were heeded. This person, there's a lot of pride and arrogance in this person. They can never accept a wrong. To admit to being wrong it is the equivalent of taking an L to them, and they don't want to take an L. So they'd rather keep doing what they're doing in defiance of God and face the consequences than ever own up to the fact that they're wrong. And that's why this person is in this situation right now. But the Lord is saying, just to recap, if this is your person that this spell was cast on, he or she has been set free. If it was you that the spell was cast on, you have been set free from it. This person and your person are now separated. And this person that cast the spell, they're sick right now. They're physically ill, and it's fatal. So I hope that this message confirms something for somebody. Again, it was not easy for me to deliver. I love you guys. I will be back with another word as soon as the Lord releases me. Take care.